So welcome, I'm Ivy Rivera, Psychic Medium. This is the Ask a Medium show. I want to invite you to take advantage of my annual holiday sale. That's buy one, get one, 50% off. That does expire on December 31st. You can get more information about readings as well as classes that we hold at the Ivy League Psychic Academy, an international school, at ivyriverapsychicmedium.com. For those of you who have not subscribed to me on YouTube, I highly recommend that you do so. We are shifting everything over that way as we go forward. So you could check that out. That's also where I'm posting all of the monthly horoscopes and additional weeklies. So those don't always go on to Instagram and Facebook. Now, before Paul, hi Paul.
Oh, yeah.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Before Paul starts taking all of your questions, we're going to be giving the weekly horoscope. So this is from Wednesday the 4th to Wednesday the 11th. What is going on with your weekly horoscope? Aries. Aries, first thing that I have going on with you is a bit of a pain in the neck, a bit of a pain in the back, or a pain in the upper shoulder here. What that can mean is two different things. You have a monkey on your back. You have something that's causing you stress or someone that is irritating you. It can also be a sign that you're carrying too much energy that is causing you distress in your upper shoulders, in through your head, causing headaches. And a lot of people also do that in their stomach. So if you're noticing that you're having digestive issues or, nasal problems, sinus issues, or this literal back pain up through the shoulders, the neck, you're going to want to find the source of it if you haven't already. I feel like the majority of you know already what I'm talking about. Now, the next thing that's coming up with this and the message of healing for this dilemma is to cut yourself loose. I feel like if this is a toxic relationship, and for many of you, this may be with an old situation, a stagnant ex, even an ex-partner, an ex-spouse, old family members. For many of you, it seems like it could be a boss. I'm hearing cut yourself loose, get yourself free. Sometimes we are measuring how much something is worth by how much time and effort we put in. And we want to say, yeah, but I put in, this was an investment, not if the payout is no longer there. Everything in the world is on a time clock. And this one has expired. What I'm hearing is don't hold yourself back. You have new exciting things to look forward to going forward. And it's almost like you can't get those. That door can't open until this is complete. There's also talk of new love with some of you. So I want to say, especially Thursday and Friday, be open to the possibility of conversation that you're hearing for the first time. Even though for many of you, I feel like you already know this person, you've already bumped into this person, this engagement may not be the first one. That can also mean that there's past life connection there. It is very possible that you are rekindling something with someone from a previous life, but it's also possible that this person's been right in front of you and you just didn't see them, timing or whatever. Everything is free right now. It has a lot of work connotations surrounding this, connected throughout this. So you guys could have similarities in life goals, work goals, or even be working in the same place. Actually, that would not surprise me one bit. Enjoy. Taurus, what is going on with you this week? Taurus, I'm feeling like there is, that's making me nuts. It's like the OCD is like off the charts. I feel like you're taking one step forward, two steps back, one step forward, standing still, another step back. It's like you're doing this dance with yourself. I don't see anything in front of you. I don't see any real reason for it to be happening. You have found yourself in a little bit of a predicament here where you don't know where to go. You don't know what to do. You might be second guessing yourself. What I'm hearing from your guides and your ancestors is that this is not from lack of information. It's not from a lack of wisdom. It's not from a lack of guidance given to you by your higher mind, the universe, God. It is that you have chosen to ignore some things to the past. The last 2 months for you in a situation have been turbulent. and you were given advice throughout that time, but you may not have taken it. And when that happened, you ended up sweeping some things under the carpet, skeletons in the closet. Now we have unfinished business, and it's coming to the surface, and it's showing up as it's almost like the symptom or the outbreak. Now you can see it through this almost deer in the headlights type of a scenario where you are a bit paralyzed and not understanding what to do. My healing message here is that you need to go back in. You are not going to find as much information if you're looking around you and you're saying, oh, well, I want someone to tell me. I want to talk about this. What's the world showing me? Are there signs and symbols? I think it's going to be easier for you to sit quietly, 15 to 20 minutes, go inward, call in your guides, and find out what it is that you need to change. There is a ton of parental energy coming in here for you, Tauruses. And this is really going to hit more Thursday and Friday. Now, whether your parents are living or deceased, or these are just mentors or parental type figures, I feel guidance coming to you, showing you, almost like taking your face and redirecting on what you ought to be looking at. So it's really going to start with what is out of balance in your life and then where the priorities need to be. I feel like if you can work this out this week and clear up some of that activity that's been going on for the last 2 months, I feel like you're going to have a very prosperous month ahead. And some of the things that you end up bringing in, whether they be relationship or this be promotion in your job, it does have the potential to almost double your profit in some way. So pay attention. I'm also hearing chimes, bells ringing with you. Pay attention to ringing in the ears. Okay, people think they have tinnitus. That is Spirit's way of communicating with you, living or deceased, especially those parents. Gemini, what is going on with you? Is he snake in the grass? Okay, so this is a week for you to understand what's yours and to understand what is your ego, and to have a clear set of boundaries so that you're putting in the effort when you should, and you're letting go and letting God when you should do that. This is a little bit like the Serenity Prayer. What I'm sensing here is that everything for you this week is about the timing. On Thursday afternoon, I want to say Friday morning leading into the afternoon, and then we have some activity going on next Wednesday where there's sort of a breakthrough on all of this. What you're going to be analyzing is the timing on your words, the timing on your actions. When am I supposed to take this information that I got secretly? So I see you as being this snake. Now, what was interesting was that when you were the snake, you were collecting all this information. It was useful information. It was healing information. It was for your prosperity and your future. But knowing when to apply it is going to be key, or it's sort of like you're exposed, okay? Because the very next possibility was you being more in the desert instead of the high grass. And those are extreme circumstances. And of course, you would have no shelter. You would have nowhere to hide. So watch your mouth, watch your ego, keep it in check. I also feel for you, I'm supposed to give a little bit of a heads up that this isn't a great week to be drinking a lot, using escapist tendencies, avoidance problems. This is a real grown-up time. We're going to adult this week, my fellow Geminis, and we are going to stay mindful, okay, and focused. You have a lot of maternal energy coming in over here to the future, to the right side of you. That's grandmothers, aunts, your living mother if you have, but also, deceased. And I feel a lot of angel energy coming in here too. This is a huge week for you to bust out, to break through, to shatter boundaries. And I see some chains coming off your ankles that have possibly been there for anywhere from like 2 to 12 years. So a lot going on with Gemini this week. Good things. And that's coming regardless, okay? Let's see. Cancers. What is going on with you, my fellow Cancers? I feel that this week you want to go out and play, but you feel that there's some heaviness put on you. So I do feel similar to what I was getting for Aries, is sort of like a pain, but for, you know, in the shoulders and the neck area. But for you, it's more like chains. I literally see big, thick chains put around your neck. My sense here is that someone else put them there. This isn't the kind of situation where I could say, well, you're doing this to yourself, just knock it off, you know, refocus. It's not quite that easy. Someone did you dirty. Someone's done you wrong. Someone has lied and taken advantage of you, and you feel quite assaulted by it mentally, physically, emotionally. I would not be surprised. Hold on. We're going to have to, you may have to stay over there for a minute too. Okay. So I would not be surprised if you find that you're even dealing with some past life issues that might be coming up from this type of an assault to your energy field. And what I think is best for you to do is to accept this energy from these loving maternal females coming in here, this angelic energy. Remember that everyone is appointed 2 angels. You have a protector angel and you have a guardian angel. The guardian angel is watching over your mental and emotional state and well-being. So what we really want to do is just allow the healing to come through. I feel that you may have a bit of a tendency to want to shut yourself in and push everybody else away this week. And that's not the way to do it. I feel a ton of relief coming to you and like a victory. I see you coming up out of this with a sword over here on, I want to say, really, we're looking more toward the end of next week. It's like you are in a very, very unique position now to almost like cut this person down, cut the situation down, cut them off at the knees. You might be pulling the rug out from under somebody, and I see you just looking at it and being like, good luck with all that. That karma is on you and letting it go. So kudos, good for you. I'm also seeing you're going to have to put it on airplane mode. Yeah. Hold on, everybody. We want to get the Facebook feed on airplane mode. Nope. This is an iPhone. Sweep up from the bottom. Yep. No. Yes. Okay. Do you want me to do it? There you go. All right, we got Samsung people, Google people, and iPhone people here. So
there's like
never shall they meet.
4 directions to swipe,
right.
And I didn't get to that.
It's the young punk crew from Instagram that's got to get on here and call every time we do a show. You could thank them for that. So what we have going on, with you, again, Cancers, is a complete and total release, a real cleansing. This is significant, and this is going to be significant in you dealing with some issues from a previous past life, unfinished, I almost want to say like karmic cycles, okay, that are now coming to an end, and you'll be able to carry this forward and heal a lot of other people through your story as well. So don't think the story isn't meant to be heard. It most certainly is. Let's see Leo, what is going on with you? Leo, I have you running really, really fast. And I feel like there is this, almost like, I see flames coming up and out of your back. And what that can mean is that you are feeling feisty about going after something that you really want. And a lot of it is really coming from a place of cleansing. So behind you in the recent past or currently even, you may have found that, really, literally, like you're on fire. You have decided that your energy is in alignment with what you want, that even if you can't see exactly what you're going for, you're ready to at least take some steps in blind faith, that you're stepping out, you're shaking it up. For some of you, I feel you shedding old lovers that really aren't of any value anymore. I see that we have, is this frozen?
YouTube? No, mine's fine.
Nope. Facebook.
Sorry, Facebook? No, mine's working.
Okay. So we have an opportunity for you to leave behind love partners that aren't working anymore. I also feel that if some of you have been sort of crushed by a job, a career, a situation on, under a boss, maybe you were working under a glass ceiling, something like this. You just didn't feel like it was ever going to go anywhere. We have room for improvement there. Some of you may be looking at buying a property, expanding on a family. Some of you may be looking at, this feels like marriage. This feels like growth. For others, it feels like I'm taking this vacation. I'm getting out of here, possibly even overseas. So bigger trips and investments. If someone were to approach you now, or someone has approached you in the past about getting in on a business with them, or if you've thought about launching your own thing, it feels to me like this would be a great time for you to do this. I also think that it's really important, especially on Tuesday, for you to pamper yourselves and to dress yourselves up. I know you guys love to do that anyways, Leos, but I feel that somebody might be coming and challenging you a bit and trying to make you think that you're less than what you are. It feels like it could be a bit of a jealous attempt. And I want to say, don't let anybody rain on your parade, okay? So really just go in front of them and shine even more, I think is the best thing that you can do. Virgos, what's going on with you? Leo and Virgo, I want to say that for both of you, I'm getting very pushy parents. Now, pushy parents can mean parental figures in any capacity. It can also mean figures of authority or someone in your life who thinks they're of authority. Maybe they have some control over your finances in some way, or, you have to think in terms of what makes you tick. Okay. What can people control in your life? But I want to say that for both of those signs, you may be setting some boundaries with these people this week, saying once and for all, this is not your territory. I understand that maybe I let you believe that for a while. I don't owe any explanations here. This is no longer your territory. Do not cross this line. And you're taking back something that is really rightfully yours. The majority of what I'm seeing you taking back it's not really objects. It's more like emotional, mental, physical space, owning your energy again. And I feel very positive about all of that. Fix this for me?
Yeah, it's working on mine.
I know, but it's not working on mine. So if you could fix mine. Okay, so what else do we have going on here with Virgo? I have a little bit of a tendency here for you, especially on Wednesday. I want to say that I'm seeing tripping feet. And what that can mean is that you find yourself in a situation where you're being rushed, or you can't really see what's right below you. If there's a situation brewing with your work, with a business deal, with a new position, someone is maybe saying to you, where is this? Where's this paperwork? Why isn't this done? We need to sign here. We have to go forward. You could find yourself stumbling a little bit, or almost feeling, thank you, almost feeling like out of control. I didn't know. You might blame yourself and say, I should have been more organized. I should have been more prepared for this. But I actually feel like it's a bit of a bluff. I don't feel that you have to rush. It reminds me of the kind of situation where you rush to get somewhere and like everybody else is 15 minutes late anyways, or they're not even, you got the wrong day. It could be anything. But I'm not saying don't move forward. I'm just saying don't be hasty in how you do it. Dot your I's, cross your T's, and be focused. Don't trip over yourself, okay? I feel like this is, and it would be fitting for Virgos, right? I love you guys, but you're very perfectionistic, and you allow things sometimes to make you be flustered more than what you need to be. Just stay focused. Take it slow. Libra, what is going on with you? Okay, so I'm seeing you get very dressed up this week, and I saw gold coins come in a necklace and be placed in front of you. This is an obvious prosperity symbol. It is all about you finishing up a task this week that is connected to your life contract. Now, when I'm talking about a life contract, I'm talking about what you signed on to do before you came to Earth. Everything written within your life contract is on a deadline. And we want to fulfill these life contracts and meet these deadlines so that we don't have to like reincarnate and do it over and over and over again, of course. But some of what's going on for you is past life. So we're not only wrapping up a contract, potentially something in the contract we could just check off just from this life. This is old. So I'm seeing ancestors. I'm seeing a lot of male ancestors who watch over you, paternal energy, your father or your older brother or a male mentor in your life in some way, a boss might get involved with you this week and try to say, you know, what about this? Or how about finishing this? Or how is this going? And give you sort of a heads up and actually somewhat of an outline and a roadmap on how to do it, or a helping hand. This could be inheritance. This could be the handing down of a business directly to you. It could be a lot of things. So I think that it's really important that this week you're paying attention to the way that prosperity was just placed right on your neck. It's rightfully yours is a great way to say this. And the only thing you really have to do is step forward. Some of you may be hesitant to do so, whether you have children, you have a spouse, you are coupled in some way, you have financial obligations somewhere else. You may be tempted to say, well, I can't do that. I can't step out and do something new because I have these responsibilities, or they would never let me, or whatever. You're going to have to think a little bit outside the box to get these benefits. Scorpio, housing, travel, movement, and some vehicles. Some of you might be looking at upgrading the vehicle, purchasing a new vehicle, waiting on someone to gift you a vehicle. For many of you, you've been sitting still and you've been waiting on a situation in your life in the literal way, waiting for someone to give you something. And I feel that this might be a week when it either breaks through or you say, I'm done, I'm breaking out, I'm going to go get it my own way. So for many Scorpios, we have circumstances holding you back. This could be affecting real estate and the things that I mentioned earlier also. However, it could just be affecting your life, your body, your mentality. This is all about you cleansing and getting free of some circumstances that have been holding you back. It seems like there are 4 separate areas going on in your life. They're all connected to this breakthrough. So you're going to see improvements in many different areas. For those of you who've been having sexual problems, if you've been having, we won't get into it, just a whole bunch of stuff that looks dysfunctional a bit. If you are having issues and you haven't been able to sort of bring your A game, you know, or really enjoy things there in the bedroom capacity, this could also be affecting that. So it's funny how we tend to think logically about everything, right? Well, how could my money possibly affect my sex life? Everything is interconnected. So you have these breakthroughs and then even that increases. Now, for some of you, it's not just going to be about sex. It could also be about your creative level. So writers, artists, musicians, we're looking at some like skyrocketing here, okay, with creativity and potential breakthroughs coming up even with that or what you created in the next couple months. Enjoy, Scorpio. Very nice. Sagittarius, what is going on with you? Okay. So Sag, I am seeing you trying to collect. The image that Spirit's giving me is you on a beach, digging, and trying to put all the sand in little teeny tiny jars. Some of you might be doing that. Probably it's a symbol, okay, like everything else I get. So what that means is that you're trying to collect small bits of things from your life and save them and store them and have them to look at later on and say, look at this thing that I have. But I'm supposed to say to you, you know, you can't take anything with you. So keep that in mind as you go forward, that it's okay to maybe spend a moment in time collecting some sand and having a keepsake, or saying that this thing is special to me and I'm so glad that I own this, or this makes me feel good. But you have to learn how to recreate that feeling, that thought, that sense of freedom or happiness or peace or joy with your own brain, not with objects, not with money, not with people, not with circumstances. You have to recreate it in your own way, like repeatedly, in such a way that it will sustain you. So in a way, this is really positive because you've hit the money, you hit the mark, you figured out something that really makes you tick, and it really makes you want to engage. And so that's wonderful, but you can't save it forever. It is not about the occurrence. It's not about the person. It's not about the experience of the object. It is about the way it made you think, the way it made you feel. And what does that say about who you are and what you're here to do? Okay, recreate that. It's going to come up again on Thursday morning and into Friday evening in some dreams as well. And you'll be given more guidance about what all of this means. So really run with that. I also see 2 financial increases potentially for you, one that you have to go get and one that will fall in your lap more toward the end of the week. Capricorn, what is going on with you? So Capricorn, I have you being a little stubborn. It's as though they're showing you in a vehicle and it feels like the vehicle stalls out and you got a whole team of people. You got a team just there to support you. The whole tribe is there, right? And they're pushing the car from the back. It reminds me of Buffalo every day, right? All through the winter. You got, what are we, the city of good neighbors, whatever? You got all these people behind your car, like, okay, we're going to push her forward. We're going to get her out of this rut. You know, we're going to get her going. And then I look closer and there's no rut. There's no mud. There's no snow. There's nothing under your tires. And you're actually not even sitting in the driver's seat, which is interesting. So what that means is that you are deciding to take a back seat in your life this week in some situation. And for many of you, it feels like it has to do with dialogue, communication with another person, or in possibly even like a work or family situation where you're just like, I'm just not even going to do this. I'm just going to, you know, sit over here and let the chips fall where they may. And that's not really an option. You can get away with that for a very, very short period of time. But I'm hearing come Wednesday, we have sort of an explosion with all of this information, everything coming to the surface, or it would be like a volcano sort of erupting, and you're going to have to deal with it. Sometimes it looks like what you're trying to avoid in this situation is having to cut things off or set proper boundaries. You were just hoping they would fall into place on their own. For those of you exploring a new love affair or dealing with if you're coupled with someone who hasn't maybe been doing well, whether it be health issues or mental health issues, we may be seeing a breakthrough with that partner. And for those of you who are sort of newly coupled or dating new people, I'm feeling like this could go forward really, really quickly. Okay. And I feel like enjoy the ride, but don't completely lose your head. And remember that you can sometimes get caught up in things and they don't stay that way. So be realistic about hormones and endorphins and all kinds of other things, okay? Aquarius, what is going on with you? All right, so I'm hearing like, there's like a whole bunch of funny activity going on here, almost kind of like a circus and a carnival, and then I'm seeing a Ferris wheel. You may be feeling like this week is kind of going without you, okay, going along, taking you along for a ride. It's sort of like when I see this Ferris wheel continuously going forward, you kind of can't stop, you can't hold on, you can't get off, okay, the wheel, you can't pause it. I think that last week may have been difficult for you, and you're recognizing that some of the mental and emotional stuff that you're dealing with, whether this be with family, lovers, close friends, children, things like this, it feels that it's taking a bit of a toll and you haven't possibly processed any of that. And so what you're going, you can't just keep losing sleep over it. You're going to need to go inward. I'm going to recommend the same thing to you that I believe I said to Taurus, which is take 15 to 20 minutes to sit in silence. Go in and ask your guides and your ancestors, your higher mind and God to come and show you by giving you direction what areas need to be dealt with and how you can bring in healing from those areas. You might be shocked at what you hear. I feel that this is time for you. We can't spend another week doing that, okay? It's not a circus. It's not funny. And you do need to get off the wheel. So there could also be a little bit of stagnancy here when we're looking at the workplace. For those of you who have been debating on doing something new, applying somewhere new, going for additional training or education, you may be hearing that something that was available to the past is coming up again and enticing you. And I do feel like you need to go forward with that. There's a lot of money in that for you. But more importantly, for many of you, it's part of your life contract that you would be giving more communication to people, healing to people, be more engaged in some way, get out of the rut. You know, when I look at someone who's supposed to be out in the world as a healer and they're working at a bank, this is kind of what that looks like, okay? We're not even in the ballpark. So if you feel you're supposed to move, move. For those of you who did move back when you were told to, you're going to get a huge payout for this. It's karmic. Very good. Pisces, what is going on with you for the week? All right. Pisces, I have you, how do I want to say this? It's almost like, you know, you're pulling on these ropes and you're pulling up these fishnets from this great ocean and they're full. You're pulling up another fishnet and it's not so full. You're pulling up another one and there's almost like nothing in it. There's like a couple cans and a boot, you know, and you're like, what is going on? What is going on? If you may be examining a relationship, a situation where you're putting in the same amount of effort and you're not always getting the same results, and it's starting to bother you, what I think is interesting about this is that you have a very strong guide right over here whispering in your ear on the left side. That's always going to be your receiving side. So you're being given strength. You're being given the direction and the reassurance that you are on the right path. For a while, you're just going to have to keep plugging along. You don't always get the same results. And you also need to be careful this week that you're not comparing your results to someone else's. So everybody has a different journey. Everybody has different payouts and at different times. I keep getting this impression of, it's almost like Oprah, you know, coming in, this energy that the universe is going to be giving you that's very much about coming from nothing and making something great. Okay. So if you can persist with this, I feel that you may end up with something far, far greater than what you could, wrap your head around, what your ego can really imagine. And it could really be coming from a place of willingness to say, what are the lessons? What experiences am I learning from this? What have I processed? Not just, you know, this is what I'm supposed to do and this is the result I want. Okay. So this is really, and I hate that phrase, but it's in the journey. You know, everyone always says it's in the journey. It's in the lessons. It's in the mindfulness. It's in the willingness to engage in the process. And this would be a great week to do that. Okay. For those of you who are waiting on a check, taxes, settlement, some kind of an estate, you might be getting a small, even an inheritance coming into you. Pay attention Thursday morning. I hear a lot going on with that. And Tuesday evening, some new stuff brewing in love and relationships. Don't say too much. Let it go on its own. All right, everybody have a great week. I will be putting up, I did not have time for December, but I will be putting up January horoscopes up on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe. And if you want to catch our next Ask a Medium show, 9 p.m. Eastern, that's going to be on Tuesday, the 17th, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube Live. Thank you.